The first thing I noticed were my mother's hands. They were trembling around a half-finished glass of wine. Her fingers couldn't even keep the stem straight. My father stood beside her, shoulders caved in, voice gone, eyes glued to the floor like a guilty child. And in the middle of their living room, where the ocean should have been the view, someone else was laughing. I recognized the laugh instantly. My sister's husband, barefoot, comfortable, leaning against the window like he owned the place. When he spotted me in the doorway, he actually flinched, irritated more than surprised. "You're early," he said, as if I was the intruder. This house wasn't supposed to have strangers in it. This was supposed to be my parents' peaceful home for their 50th anniversary, a quiet coastal place where they could finally rest. I bought this house 3 months earlier. Cash. No loans. No family involvement. Nobody knew, not even my sister. I wanted to surprise them. But standing there, watching my mother's terror and my father's silence, I instantly understood. I hadn't been the only one working behind the scenes. I set my keys on the counter. The sound was sharp, final. My father inhaled, ready to speak, but my brother-in-law sliced right through him. "This is my house," he said. "Get out." My mother's glass slipped from her hand. The ocean murmured behind the walls while the world inside that room stopped breathing. And I realized I had stepped directly into a betrayal that had already bloomed. It hadn't started that night. Weeks earlier, my sister called me, cheerful in a way that sounded staged, asking questions. Too many. Trying to figure out where our parents were going to move. I assumed she was just excited. Then the agent called me privately. "Your sister came in," he said awkwardly. "She told us she was your investment partner. Wanted to confirm the closing details." Partner. She always had a talent for acting. When we were little, she could summon tears on command. People always believed her. Always. I forced myself to believe she'd changed. But standing in that coastal house, every corner felt like her handwriting. New furniture. Fresh paint. Their wedding photo on the hallway wall, right where I had planned to hang our parents. Walking through their kitchen that night felt like being inside a crime scene. Every object had fingerprints of deception. The plates I picked for my mother were sitting in her cabinets. The perfume in the hallway wasn't my mother's. It smelled like something artificial, like plastic flowers and envy. And then she came down the stairs. Silk robe. Soft smile. Perfect timing. "You should have told me you were coming," she said lightly. I didn't respond. Sometimes silence is the only language that can hold truth steady. So I stayed for dinner. I congratulated her on her new home. My parents never touched their food. The next week, I collected evidence. Title forgery. Fake letters signed with my parents' names. Wire transfers masked through her husband. It was clean, professional, and planned. Every night, I parked outside the gate, staring at the lights going dark one by one, imagining her lying in a bed built on my generosity. People think betrayal is loud. It isn't. It's a thin hiss that slowly empties everything, and by the time you hear it, it's already too late. When the lawyer traced the accounts, confirmation came fast. I printed the report, folded it, placed it in an envelope. Sunday. She was watering flowers she never planted. I walked up to her, handed her the envelope. "What's this?" she asked, voice cracking at the last syllable. "Proof," I said. She didn't need to open it. People like her already taste the truth before they see it. When she finally looked, her skin lost all color. Her husband stepped outside, saw the papers, whispered something to her, and walked back inside without looking at her again. And just like that, everything she built on fraud vanished. The reversal took only 3 days. Quiet, surgical, tidy. When I came back for the keys, she was packing. One question. Only one. Why? I looked at the sister who once held my hand at our father's burial, the one I used to protect. "Because you thought I wouldn't notice," I said. Her sobs were loud, rehearsed, desperate. But guilt always sounds fake when spoken late. I walked through the empty rooms and straight to the porch, where the sea kept breathing like nothing had happened. I heard her whisper, "Please." I didn't turn around. My parents live there now. They never asked for the details. They didn't need to. Sometimes I sit on that porch and listen to the tide, and the house finally feels clean again. My sister moved far inland. Her husband left her.
Good.
People confuse forgiveness with weakness. But real forgiveness is letting someone rot in the rubble they created for themselves. I don't hate her. I just don't remember her anymore. And that, honestly, is the sharpest revenge there is. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to Cheating Stories Insight World for more unbelievable real-life stories.